Today, Would Like To invites you to delve deeper into the 4 foundations of mindfulness, expanding the application for lay Buddhists. Dear friends on the path, as we gather here today, let us take a deep breath together and settle into the present moment. With calm and openness, we begin our exploration of the 4 foundations of mindfulness, known in Pali as Satipatthana. These 4 foundations are the heart of mindfulness practice, taught directly by the Buddha himself. They serve as a complete path to liberation, even in the midst of our daily lives. As lay practitioners, the 4 foundations are: 1. Mindfulness of the body, Kayanupassana. 2. Mindfulness of feelings, Vedananyupassana. 3. Mindfulness of the mind, Cittanupassana. 4. Mindfulness of mental objects or dhammas, Dhammanupassana. Let us walk through each one, gently and patiently, discovering how each foundation can be practiced not only in monasteries, but right here, in our homes, workplaces, and communities. 1. Mindfulness of the body. Mindfulness of the body is our doorway into the present moment. It begins simply with being aware of the breath. Breathing in. We know we are breathing in. Breathing out. We know we are breathing out. This awareness sounds simple, but it brings us into deep contact with reality. The breath is always with us, no matter where we are. Whether we are working, cooking, walking, or even stuck in traffic, we can return to the breath. The Buddha also taught us to be mindful of our postures. Standing, sitting, walking, lying down. Even as lay people, we can bring mindfulness to each of these positions. Standing in line at the store, we can become aware of our standing. Sitting at our desks, we can gently notice our sitting posture. We are also invited to be mindful of bodily activities, such as eating, washing dishes, brushing our teeth. These are not chores to rush through. They are sacred opportunities to be present. Mindfulness of the body also includes reflecting on the nature of the body, its impermanence, its changing nature. This helps us loosen attachment and develop compassion for ourselves and others. So, dear friends, let us not overlook the body. It is our first ground for awakening. 2. Mindfulness of feelings. The second foundation is mindfulness of feelings. This does not mean emotions in the Western psychological sense, but rather the simple feeling tone that arises in each moment. Pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. When you eat a sweet fruit, there is a pleasant feeling. When you touch something too hot, there is an unpleasant feeling. When nothing much is happening, there may be a neutral feeling. The Buddha invites us to observe these feelings without clinging or pushing them away. Just to know, this is a pleasant feeling. This is an unpleasant feeling. For lay practitioners, this is very practical. When someone speaks harshly to us, we may feel hurt or angry. Instead of reacting, we can pause and acknowledge the feeling. This is unpleasant. In doing so, we don't suppress the feeling, but we don't let it control us either. We begin to see that feelings are not permanent. They arise, stay for a time, and pass away. This helps us develop equanimity and prevents us from being tossed around by every emotional wave. This practice protects us and also helps us build better relationships. Because when we understand our own feelings, we begin to understand the feelings of others. 3. Mindfulness of the mind. The third foundation is mindfulness of the mind itself. This means being aware of the state of our mind. Not just what we're thinking, but how we are thinking. Is the mind calm or agitated? Focused or distracted? Open or closed? This is a very deep practice, but also very accessible. When we sit in silence, or when we are walking, we can check in with the mind. How is it now? Are we joyful or irritated? Clear or confused? We don't judge the mind. We simply observe. With kindness and interest. As lay Buddhists, our minds are constantly stimulated by news, social media, work, family life. It is easy to become overwhelmed. But by gently noticing the state of the mind, we begin to cultivate wisdom. We learn when to rest, when to act, when to speak, and when to remain silent. We see clearly that the mind is like the sky, and our thoughts and moods are like passing clouds. This awareness gives us freedom. We are no longer prisoners of our moods. We become caretakers of our inner landscape. 4. Mindfulness of Dhammas. The fourth foundation is mindfulness of Dhammas, or mental objects. This includes observing the teachings of the Buddha as they manifest in our own experience. It means being aware of things like the 5 hindrances, such as desire, aversion, sloth, restlessness, and doubt. When they arise, we don't judge. We simply note. Desire is present. Doubt is present. It also means noticing the 7 factors of awakening, like mindfulness, investigation, energy, joy, calm, concentration, and equanimity. When joy arises, we recognize it and let it nourish us. When concentration is strong, we rest in it. For lay people, mindfulness of Dhammas helps us apply the Dhamma directly to our lives. For example, at work, if anger arises, we recognize it as a hindrance and breathe with it. At home, if generosity arises, we recognize it as a beautiful factor of awakening and let it grow. This foundation brings the teachings alive, not just as words we study, but as living truths we experience directly. Living the 4 foundations as lay practitioners. Dear friends, you may wonder, can I really practice all this in my busy life? The answer is yes. Not perfectly, but sincerely. You don't need to retreat from the world. You can retreat into mindfulness. Even in the middle of your life. Washing dishes mindfully. Listening to your child with full presence. Driving without distraction. Eating without the phone. These are all acts of deep practice. The 4 foundations are not separate from life. They are life, lived with awareness. Begin with 1 moment. 1 breath. 1 footstep. 1 feeling. And over time, mindfulness will grow roots in your heart. In conclusion, the 4 foundations of mindfulness offer us a complete path. A refuge in the storm of life. They help us see clearly, feel deeply, and live wisely. Let us not think mindfulness is only for monks or nuns. It is for all of us. Right here and now. May you take these teachings into your day, into your relationships, into your joys and your struggles. May mindfulness be your companion, your guide, and your source of peace. Thank you for watching today's Dharma Talk with me. Namo Amitabha Buddha. I wish to bring this merit towards all disciples and sentient beings. All complete Buddhahood. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel to review the Buddha's short Dharma talks. Thank you for listening to the Dharma.